Welcome everybody to another episode of the Broski Doodle podcast. For all you Broski Doodles and Broski Deads out there, we got a banger for you today. Today we're going to be talking about another Oscar-nominated movie called CODA. Today I'm hosting out here, trying it out. Got the reins, but nevertheless, we got KIKO Flow in the building, and we got your boy DJ BJ. Big John.
Movie review.
All right, guys.
Movie review with the crew.
Movie review with the crew. Oh, movie review with the crew. Oh, movie review with the crew.
Bro, I can't tell you. I've been fucking bagging this episode because finally I get a movie that I'm like, wow. I can't hold it anymore. This movie, I don't know if it's going to, but it should win the Oscars. CODA.
Damn.
It's like that.
Damn.
It's like this and it's like this and like that and like this and
I still got Nightmare Alley, but we'll say that
best
for
in the
another
world, man. It's
episode.
best in the world.
I don't want to watch any more movies. I think this is it.
Oh, damn.
We're ending the podcast on this. No, but the thing is, after we're done with this Oscar series, we're gonna watch like movies that are like classics, cool movies, new movies that come out. And yeah, I don't know why people might be thinking like, damn, bro, you don't even like doing this shit. No, it's like the Oscar movies are fucking, they're heavy. And CODA, well, before CODA, our choice for the Oscars was Nightmare Alley, which I still think was a great movie. But just CODA, you hit me in the fucking, on the plums. Hit me in the plums. God damn it, man. I cried the whole fucking movie. But it was like, you know that cry of like, it's not sadness, it's emotion, realness. Yeah, it's like tears of joy. It's like tears because you're so filled with emotion. This movie grabs you by the anus and fucking doesn't let you go. The whole movie is funny. It has real funny moments. It has moments that are genuine. It doesn't fall in none of this wokeness bullshit. It's just so fucking real, man. And if you want to talk about a movie that's inclusive, without just inclusive organically, not even trying to be progressive. No, it's like organically inclusive to obviously the deaf community and hard of hearing. But in such a beautiful way, in such an organic, amazing way. So the subtleties, right? The part where like they mute everything so that you can get in the
fuck.
Right.
That was the deepest part for me.
Right. So for people, I mean, if you're watching this, I think it's understood that you need to watch these movies. But CODA, right? It's about a family that's deaf and they have a daughter that isn't deaf, and she has to help them with everything in life. But she likes to sing, but they cannot enjoy what she does because they're deaf. So they put you in a situation where they're looking at her singing, and like in school, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they mute everything so that you can feel how those deaf people see life without sound. I like, this wasn't a movie; it was an experience. I've never seen a movie that did so many things. You know what's cool too? When I got this movie, I'm like, man, it's crazy how the movie has so many subtitles. But obviously, even if you're watching it in English, it has subtitles because there's a lot of times when they're, gang signs. Yeah, and I don't want to get in any trouble with any of them. So I don't want to recreate any of it. But bro, isn't that crazy? This is like the first movie that I know of that is actually more catered to deaf people than the rest of us. Like, if you're deaf, then you were able to understand parts that we needed to read subtitles for. Like, I feel like that's like a powerful thing, like, because Americans or people that speak English is like, oh, all the movies are catered for you. Like, it's all in English. Everybody else gets the subtitles. But here, even if you know English, you get subtitles, bitch, unless you know how to speak in sign language too, which is hard as fuck, by the way, and it takes a long ass time to say one little thing.
It does. No. You're there for days, and by that time, you already took a shit in your pants. Yo, where's the nearest bathroom? Where's the nearest bathroom? Anybody on the? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like I want to It's a little too much. Yeah, I'm not making fun of this, okay? We're gonna talk a lot of like sentimental shit about this movie.
Oh my
but,
god!
But we are the Broski Doodles, you know, and it is a bit of like, man, you guys gotta get a new sign language 2.0. Get Elon Musk on that shit. You know, get acronyms going.
I think it's easier to like type things out on your phone and show it, as opposed to throwing it up all the time.
If it was me, I get me a little chair like Stephen Hawking's had, with a little computer, and I'm just like with my mouth, and he writes. You know, Stephen Hawking, he had a little computer thing that spoke out. He's like, "Hello, I'm Stephen Hawking. I left my wife for another girl. I'm a pimp."
and I can't even move. My dick don't even work.
Actually, his dick worked. It's a really weird thing. Like everything. Yeah. He's like, your lungs, your heart, that will continue to work, and your dick. Everything else, we don't know. Down. I don't know. It's a weird disease.
Just make sure my dick works.
So weird disease.
It'd be funny to learn if like Stephen Hawking had like a massive hog. Like,
oh my god.
He's like when he got the disease, like all like the body to sort of try to like protect itself sent all of the muscle mass to the penis, and he was like, so now he has like a massive penis that's like whatever. This is weird. CODA.
He passes out when he gets hard.
Yeah, so CODA.
he regains movement of his limbs when his dick gets hard. He's like, I'm back. So he needed someone that wanted to fuck 24/7, so he could always be on the. No, but CODA, fucking amazing movie. Had me crying the whole time. All right, let's get to the notes. So, okay, is you guys? I don't know if you got this part where like it's such a real movie that like things are not black and white. Life is complicated, and the mom at the beginning, you kind of were like, then why is she being such a bitch about her daughter going to school? She's holding her back, right? And you kind of want to be like, hey, fuck the mom. But then later on, you realize that the mom has her own fears, and that's how life works. Like when we have problems, when we have issues, family-wise, friends, it's never like the good one and the bad one. It's like you have good and bad, you know, like the mom loves her, but also her own insecurities and fears make her hold the daughter back. And obviously at the end of the movie, they sort of let go and let her shine, and it all works out. But you see those grays, shades of grays in life. People are not one or the other thing. You could be good and then have some things that are bad about you. And that's what this movie got me so hard. It's like you felt the realness of life situations. You know how like when you watch a movie, like a rom-com, you know, like Owen Wilson, you know, and whatever girl. Like, it's a fun flick to watch, and I love Owen Wilson. But it's like, you really don't really connect 100% because it's not a real situation. Like, you don't go to, like, a place and then you're Owen Wilson and pick up a chick that's, like, 5 times hotter. Like, but then this movie is just, like, real situations. Like, oh, he's deaf. He's going in the bar. They fuck him up. Like, it's just things that happen in life that are real. Like, the dad that was deaf, he was deaf, but he also had gonorrhea. You know, like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very relatable. And talking about the dad, his scene with his wife that they were fucking while the kid was over was amazing.
Oh, dude. My God.
Well, that's something that, like, is true. That could easily happen, right?
That was one of the funniest.
They don't know the kid's over.
This movie made me feel so many things, emotions that you don't normally feel, that you forget you even have. And that scene was perfect because that's like realness. It's like, look, man, we're fucking, and you know that's what it is, bro. I've been slaying it around this house, and I don't care who hears it, bro. What's good? We're deaf. Get used to it. Bring some earplugs.
CODA, why you gotta be a cock blocking hating ass bitch with your friend, with your best friend? Like, she told him, like, oh, how do I tell him that he's cute and stuff? And she did like some sort of move, and she's like, why did your friend just tell me like she has herpes and shit? Like
that the brother. Was funny.
That was hilarious. Like, but why are you gonna cock block your own friend?
and that brother, well, I mean, she cock blocked her because obviously that's fucking weird, right? Like you always hate your siblings in that way. But the brother,
is it because you hate your sibling that you don't let your sibling hook up with your best friend, or because you don't want your best friend hooking up with your sibling, and then making it weird?
I think it just makes it awkward in general. You know,
especially if that relationship goes sour. And she told her friend, like, you just like fucking everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and like girlfriends are telling each other how their sexual experiences are. Imagine,
oh my god,
CODA girl hearing how her brother slangs a dick.
Wait, would she tell her in sign language?
Do you think the brother is extremely good at fingering because he already has a dexterity?
Oh fuck,
dude! The CODA. I don't know if her name is not CODA, but I'm gonna call her CODA, the main girl. I don't even know what CODA means. It probably means something for deaf people.
Well, then his oral game is low. Going back to your point.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked. That's capping. Okay, that's capping. That's not even real. No, but the brother had a very. That was to me, like. Obviously, the story's about her, but the story that I was hit with the most was the brother, because he's like, "Fuck, man, I feel useless, and I don't want to." And you can feel that, like, and that's a real situation in life, And that happens even, and oh, bro, I just remembered the fucking teacher, that Mexican dude. I love that guy.
Every role he's in,
bro. Every movie he's in, dude. You're gonna cry like a bitch. He's so good. You know why I like him? Because the characters that he always plays are these Latino characters of like, yo, get the fuck up and do it. Like, shut the fuck up. No excuses. Oh, you used to talk weird because you had a deaf accent. Yeah, we all have accents too. I fucking talk, like, obviously, if you hear this podcast, some of us have accents here. And it was like this attitude of like, don't let this little bullshit, bring you down. Like, and I like those characters. I like those characters that are uplifting and not weak. Like, do it. And he's like tough love, but at the same time, man, he gave me such an emotion, bro.
Yo, at the end, teacher. when like she forgets the sheet music, and that motherfucker pulls through, he's like, yeah, I know it. I'm like, oh fuck.
And then he fucks up intentionally.
Just
so that she can restart.
He's like, yo, restart and do the thing.
Yo, dude,
what a great fucking teacher.
Fuck, dude, like I'm gonna start crying. Fuck.
And then the family's upstairs, and then she starts singing with the sign language, and they see you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god.
I think the part that got to me the most was when her dad, after the show, went back to the house, and then he's like, I need a minute. He's sitting on the truck, and then he's like, can you sing the song to me? And then he put his hands on her vocal cords to feel it, and it's god damn.
Part of me wanted that movie to like make a right turn, and he just kills her like.
Now you're deaf, dude. We can't talk this.
I hate your gift. No, but dude, what was I gonna say? Fuck yeah, that part when she's singing and she's doing the language. I can't remember what I was gonna say.
The one that had me bawling the most was the silence scene when she's singing her heart out, and then they go into silence, and the guy's like staring around. He's like, like you can see it in their face. Like, oh my god! Like,
didn't it happen to you that the whole time in the movie you're thinking that you know what they feel? Oh, they're deaf, and then when that scene comes and they make it silent, you're like, oh fuck! I wasn't even like. I wasn't even realizing the realness of this shit.
And KIKO, like you and me as musicians, that struck a chord really hard. Like imagine never hearing music ever again.
Oh, this movie.
God. You guys watch the movie Sound of Metal. If you haven't seen it yet,
Sound of Metal.
Definitely should. Sound of Metal. It's a really good movie. I don't know what. I know it won some sort of awards.
Man, he's getting John. I'm about to cry.
It's about a drummer.
A drummer?
It's about a drummer who goes deaf. And then you see his battle with being deaf and having to live a whole different life and learning sign language. And it was a really good movie that came out in 2019.
And is it like is it a true story?
Let me check.
With this movie, CODA, if at the end it would have been like based on a real story, CODA now teaches at Berkeley, I would have been like, oh fuck. Brain explodes. It's like I mean, I guess at the end it doesn't hurt that, like, because we're so spoiled these days that we need every movie to be a real story. And it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be good. It needs to tell a story that's real. You guys felt the same, I'm pretty sure, when they had that like supervisor go on the boat and then she snitches on him.
Oh, like, hell no, that bitch. I felt like, fuck! You stupid ass bitch.
Yeah, throw her out the boat, dude.
Yeah, throw her out the boat with sharks, bro. A little bitch.
But like, then you could also
necessary
see
evil.
You could also see the danger of just them two being there.
I mean, like, of course, part of me is just invested in those characters, but in general,
of course,
it's like,
like,
I guess it should be like a lot for
like
that.
they cannot be out there. Right?
So I can't fish because I'm blind. What the fuck?
I can't drive this bus because I'm.
What kind of discrimination is that?
I know this water's like the back of my hand, and he's like looking at the front part.
He's not even in the boat. He's in the dock, walking like. Bro, didn't you guys feel? Because the three of us here have the experience of living in the U.S. but having parents that are. Well, I mean, I'm from somewhere else. John, I think John was born in the U.S. Don't tell that to the immigration. But like. The part of her having to be there to speak to official things, didn't you guys feel related when your mom would ask you, can you call this place and tell them? Like, it's very relatable to people that have parents from another country that don't speak the local language.
A lot. Very much so. That was so strange. Like, so strangely real.
Related, right?
Yeah. Like, oh shit, like, you didn't even give her a chance to be a baby. Like she said, that you didn't like she was never a baby because she always had to, fend for us and carry the family to a certain extent. As us as firstborn immigrant child, it's the same kind of scenario,
Yeah. Well, she wasn't the firstborn, but I feel you. In her case, she
like
was
the firstborn with hearing, like the first person that can actually
the superpower,
with the superpower, basically.
You know what's crazy? When you're deaf, you actually like your ears are actually very important for your balance. I'm pretty sure the body just gets used to it, and you sort of find your balance somehow else. But this, like. Let's say you are born with hearing and then due to an accident you become like the drummer guy you're talking about in Sound of Metal. For those people,
won the movie for,
it's
best
hard
Oscar
for them.
Won Best Picture last year, by the way.
So it's not a documentary, but it's actually like an actual movie of a true story, like a biopic.
It's not a true story.
Oh, it's not a true story. Okay.
But it just so happened that it won Best Picture last year. And
do you guys have this feeling sometimes?
Reviewing the Oscars, we should know this shit.
Like when CODA ended, right? I was like, oh, this is not a true story. And it's like this little piece of shit part of me that's so spoiled that it's like, I expect all movies now to be fucking true stories. And if it's not, part of me is like, oh, this is some made up shit. Whatever.
It's just some made up shit.
Fiction.
But at the end of the day, I gotta recognize that even if it's fiction, if it's based on real things that happen for real, then it hits me. In this movie, and let's see other notes that I have here.
Well, I think to your point, like, since it's a feel-good story, you kind of hope that it's a real story because you want somebody to have made it like she did, despite all of the things that were pulling her down.
Exactly.
I do want to poke a hole in the movie. In the beginning of the movie, actually, because she just joined the choir because a guy was joining, and all of a sudden she's a belle. Like, I'll join because he's cute, and then I'm also like incredibly gifted, and I can go to Berkeley.
Well, mind you, she was singing on the boat before the whole thing started, but then she joined the choir because of the dude, and ended up being a fucking Adele. Or
Yeah, Adele.
no, it wasn't Adele. It was
Amy Winehouse.
what you call it? It wasn't. I wouldn't say Winehouse.
Celine Dion.
Whitney Houston.
Like Leaky Lee. I don't know if you ever heard that
What the
artist.
fuck?
All right.
Yo, don't bring me to the techno fucking filth. The fuck, Tiki Leaky? I'm here thinking of like big names, you know? He's like, you guys heard of Tiki Leaky? Come on, bro.
No, bro. Oh, man.
No, but yeah, they do preface that in the boat scene, you know, where she's like singing and it's like a hidden gift. But yeah, I do get you. And it is a little bit like, part of me is like when she goes into the choir, like she's afraid, like she's fucking sing, like, yeah, I'm afraid, I don't know, happy birthday.
Like, have you ever heard of Florence and the Machine?
That's like a band, right?
Yeah, like remember that song, the Dog Days Are Over?
No.
Oh my god.
I mean, I probably
It's
heard
Leaky
it.
Leaky.
It's a Leaky.
It's
Leaky Leaky
Oh my god, I hate
All right,
you
look.
guys.
Oh, so other notes I had here. Oh no, go, Adrian.
One note
Or
that I had
the
was
song,
that
fuck.
what song?
The one that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, then down the door. You never heard that song?
Like a kid's rhyme.
It's
Is
not
that
a
like
kid's
Baby
rhyme.
Shark?
No, it's not. Oh my god,
Leaky Leaky sings Baby Shark.
that's faint. Oh my god.
All right, DJ, just leave it, bro. I
Anyway.
think that Moscato is like taking you out, bro.
He's still stuck in the Japanese
Fuck.
movies.
Yeah,
Fuck all
he's
you.
like, akagura. I remember we had a little Moscato song. Like, it was like, I drink Moscato out the bottle and I take it to the models and the motherfucking bed. Yeah, but okay, so I had here, it was funny how the dad listens to hip hop because of the bass. Gangster hip hop. That shit was funny.
Jiggles my ass.
Yo, very vulgar. All of them.
Oh, one thing that yeah, go.
Go ahead.
No, I have notes here. Go. I'll
So
remember.
do I. Anyway, it's about how the kid pisses her off. Right. Well, he fucks up by telling the whole school or telling his friend that their parents did all that whole scene when they got caught having sex. And then she was mad at him for weeks. And then her way of getting like him to apologize to her is them going on a romantic ass date, jumping off a cliff, making out. I'm like, bro, I would piss her off every day if that's gonna be eventually what I get.
Right.
I'll piss you off. We don't talk in weeks. Then we do talk. You take me out on this romantic ass day out.
Don't get me mad or I'll suck your dick by the creek.
Exactly.
No, but I had here that that it sucks that deaf people cannot hear this podcast that we're gonna be doing on CODA.
Damn.
That's crazy, right? Unless John wants to do sign language for the rest of the party, for the community,
They might just learn it.
for the community.
For the community.
I mean, a lot of the notes here are things that I actually already talked about, but it's just that it's a big part of it. I was teary-eyed the whole movie. It was so emotional. Oof. You know, I put my vulnerability out there. I let people know. I'm a very emotional person. And when I watch movies, I let myself go. And now that I've been with my girlfriend for many years now, I don't have that embarrassment with her anymore. So it doesn't fuck with, because like imagine, like, it's a little hard to cry next to your girl. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, she already accepts that, that I'm a weak beta
she
male.
gets the tissues ready.
Baby back.
I'll be crying and I'm looking at her like, you're not crying, you fucking monster.
Go to your room. One point I was gonna make that I wrote in my notes. I'm like, the dad could talk the whole time. What the fuck?
Okay, well, this is actually a very good point. The thing is, when you're deaf, you're not automatically mute. It's just that because you're deaf. I mean, I'm here talking about this shit like if I'm gonna make like an amazing point here, but I guess this is common knowledge. When you're deaf, because you cannot hear yourself, you're not able to learn how to talk. I will gotta say though, in Venezuela, because there's now mute schools, There's not really government solutions if you're born with a disability, unfortunately. Deaf people talk because they kind of have to, and they just learn how to do like sounds like I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, I'm not trying to like make fun of it. It's for real. It's like they just, I don't know how. I also would imagine there's degrees of deafness. So if you hear something, I guess you can kind of make up sounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if the dad was born deaf, then how would he know what the word "go" sounds like?
I know. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but I seen him. I seen him do it.
Yeah, like,
It's not perfect.
This motherfucker could talk the whole time.
Yeah, he's like, go. I guess he could.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you also heard the brother sometimes, like, because he knows how to make sounds.
Yeah, well, the sounds I get, but this guy was just like, "Go, get out of here, go to college."
You know, it's crazy. Another thing that the movie got me thinking about is like how we take for granted the small things in life, you know? And like, it was a beautiful thing to see that, you know, by design, we sort of tend to think that people that are in certain groups with certain difficulties, you know, there's many of them that people can have. It's like you kind of forget that they also go through the same shit as you, same problems. Like they have also dreams, you know, like they wanted to make this little fishing thing, right? Like a little community fishing so they don't have to sell the fish to the fucking marketeers that were fucking them up with the price. It's like, man, I'm paying $3 for the pound. What the hell? What the fuck is up with this? Like you kind of see how just because they're deaf doesn't mean like they're normal people too. I mean, of course, that's a given. It's not like I just realized that, but it makes you see them in regular ass problems and regular ass situations, you know? Like when they go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you guys have herpes, you need to stop fucking and like, you know, dry your dick. Like that's a real ass situation, you know? That's like, that happens, you know?
Imagine going to the doctor and not being able to tell them that you have a shit going on with your dick, you know?
And then that's the first time that you see the dad speaking and he starts describing it. He's like, it's as if it was shards of glass and it burns in the bottom of my nutsack. It burns like, and he will make the sounds very like,
very, very descriptive.
The dad was the funniest, man. The way that do you think, because I've never seen him in other movies, do you think they actually used deaf actors?
I know for a fact the lady is. The mom, I've seen her before playing deaf roles.
Oh, I actually thought she wasn't because of the fact that I had seen her before. So I thought that she was just like a regular actress, and then she learned it. Oh, so she's actually, you seen her in other deaf.
She's a famous deaf person that I've seen.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, for
she
sure.
She is?
The dad and the son, no. Yeah.
But the dad and the son, they looked very real, like in their roles. So
nah,
could be,
John, that's cap.
That's cap.
Bet money.
Do you think if she's not, we should cancel it? You should cancel her for playing the role of something she's not. No.
Wait up, I'm looking to see it.
We're here like, that bitch better be deaf. It's probably some progressive in California.
Marley lost much of her hearing at the age of 18 months. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Marley
doesn't mean she's deaf.
Marley Matlin. But like,
rapper.
I mean,
she won an Oscar.
Deaf to the point where she has to learn sign language.
Do you think?
I'll be fucking damned.
Do you
and
think
she's had a lot of movies before? Like,
do you think if the community had to rep a side, they will go with most deaf? Okay, that's crazy. So she's actually like a famous actress. Can you check real quick, Jamie? Could you check? Could you check there if if the dad and the brother are, because I think those
All right.
are actually like I never seen him act anywhere else.
He's also a deaf American actor. Damn.
Oh,
Who, the dad or the son?
probably
The
both.
dad, the son. Let's see.
Yeah, because they played it too well. You can't play that shit.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
What about
All right,
the girl?
he's deaf too.
The girl killed it.
Yeah,
But were they really acting?
the girl had to learn for sure. Like she had to
Hey, dude,
learn
like,
the
were they really even acting? Man,
language.
come on.
They just had to live, right?
Like you know how people
Yeah.
say that even a movie, if you're gonna play a trans, oh fuck, I didn't click on the record button on this bitch. No, I've been recording. It's just that it has to.
Yeah.
You know how people say like, okay, if there's a trans person in the movie, it has to be played by a trans, right? If there's a gay person in the movie, it has to be, so if there's a deaf person in the movie, it has to be played by a deaf person. The way I look at it is, I would say the only person that cannot play the character is a person who is that character, because then it's not acting. Boom.
Right. Here.
So the fact that the deaf person is playing a deaf person in the movie, he's taking roles from, working actors.
So then does a depressed person have to play the depressed person?
You have to be.
No, you cannot. In my views, you have to be a happy person to play a depressed person so that you can actually act it out. If you're just playing who you are, then that's not acting. That's our reality TV. I'm gonna be president one day. These revelations are too.
President of what? Of what country?
I could, one thing you could feel the growth.
President of Ukraine.
Oh fuck, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That-
Is it too soon? Sorry.
No, it's not too soon. I was just like remembering, like, yeah, it's a fucked up situation. No, but I wasn't saying anything about what you said. I'm just saying, I was just remember
Yeah,
like,
oh,
yeah, that's happening.
That shit's going south
Yeah, that's just happening.
real quick.
It's crazy because in the movie review with the crew, we've been like some of the first episodes were a lot of World War movies. And then when the Ukraine thing happened, I was like, man, is this reality? Like, I don't even know if we're in a movie still. Because, like, a lot of the docs that I've watched, like Agent, when he was here in Spain in December, he saw me watch, like, the whole World War II documentaries that you have in Netflix. And part of it is, like, Russia coming in from the right. And I was, like, all aware of the conflicts and everything. And when this shit happened, I was like, oh, my God, this shit is happening in, like, live. Like, it was crazy because literally, bro, like, they go in and then now they're having issues with, like, supplies and, like, problems that you wouldn't think, like, yeah, there's a logistics with war. When you invade a country, it's a lot easier to defend it than to attack it. But whatever, we're talking about CODA. But that's a fucked up situation there. Going back to CODA.
In my notes, I have John is a girl that's always late.
Oh, hell no. I'm fixing that. But yeah, okay, you're right.
But
But
wasn't
that-
it
but
fucked
that's
that she, like, wasn't, like, out of all the people that are late, like, she actually was justified, but it was just fucked because the guy also had an argument like, hey, I'm teaching you for free, at least fucking be here on time,
She would make too many
commitments. That used to be John,
Yeah.
but that used to be John back in the day, though. But
anymore.
It still is. It
not
still is.
anymore. Nah, but,
Better.
But I've learned to say no.
I mean, I don't know
meant to
about
say
all
that.
the gatherings over there. Adrian will need to fill me in on those, but at least on the digital realm, you're much, much, much better.
So far, I haven't committed to anything that I knew that outright I would not be able to go.
Okay,
Nice
nice. That's a good thing.
improvement.
Anything else for CODA? I mean, I think this is. Do you guys agree with me that this should be the Oscar winner?
I still like
I'm
Nightmare
gonna go
Alley more.
with. I'm gonna go with it's up there. It's up there, and it really hits you. I think it should be up there, but it's hitting you in the emotions, and that's what's kind of driving you to say that it's the better of the movies.
No, you are right because Nightmare Alley doesn't hit you in the feels, but he hits you in other holes.
In other aspects, right?
That you're like,
right.
oh fuck. And it was a really good movie. So yeah, it is true. I am being biased by my feelings, but my feelings are a big factor in what I used to consider movies. So in my opinion, I would say that this one wins it because it just, yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest about it. Yeah, it just the emotional part just got me too much with this movie, and yeah, that the girl, by the way, that actress, fucking amazing, man. Singing, acting, sign language.
Yeah, I wrote down she'd be a perfect girlfriend, dude. Like, and holds it down for the family.
And holds it down.
Holds it. And she even was willing to not follow her dreams and just do the boat thing. And if it wasn't for the family being like, look, no, she needs to do this because this is her gift and shit.
Yeah.
Then
well, her brother's like, whoa, fuck you. Bitch.
Yeah, no,
I can do it myself.
It wasn't just the brother. It was the brother. It was the mom. It was the dad. It was like the combination. Like all of them realizing.
I still think the mom. Fuck the
because
mom.
If the dad would have touched
after he saw her perform,
it wasn't in the performance. It was the chords, like him touching her. I was like, yo.
Yeah, after the performance, which is that scene.
Yeah, okay.
Well. After that, then he's like, all right, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then the brother too was like, nah, bitch, I can also hold it down for the family. I'm the other brother. I don't gotta rely on you. The mom was a little.
I would have wanted to see a little bit of the brother, like how he overcame and maybe took over the little fishing thing, and people were talking to him. But I guess they also had to use time management, which I appreciate in this movie. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't one of these crazy lengths, right? I think it was less than 2 hours. Yeah.
139, 140 more or less.
Bro.
Look at that, quick, perfect.
Bro, let's normalize making 90-minute movies. If you cannot tell me a story, hit me in the anus, and get me invested with an hour and a half, then get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, drive my car. Get the fuck out of here with drive my car. Drive me insane.
I would even push to the 2 hour limit. Like, okay, if like an hour and a half to 2 hours is reasonable for a full good movie.
I'd say even 2 hours, you gotta earn that shit. You gotta Quentin Tarantino that bitch out. You gotta fucking Scorsese it. But even Scorsese went 3 hours.
3 hours.
Well, Scorsese went 3 hours and a half with Irishman. I was like, yo, chill out with that.
I think he did that with Godfather. 3 hours of Godfather.
No, but Godfather is in Scorsese.
No?
No, it's Coppola.
I'm dumb. That's Coppola.
Coppola. Well, I think his daughter, Sofia Coppola, she makes movies too. So yeah, CODA for me, I think you should win it. We still have left Licorice
Belfast.
Pizza. Belfast, fuck.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
As the child of the immigrant family, whatever, and how it relates to this whole movie, when she chose to basically tell the family to fuck off and go do her own thing and cost the family having to be stopped by La Migra, to say the least. It wasn't her fault per se, because it was eventually going to happen. But didn't it feel kind of like her fault a little bit?
No, it was definitely her fault. She was there, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that was a great point there, because it is true that this is the thing. In the macro perspective, mm-hmm. she didn't have to feel responsible for all the shit that she was doing. But on the micro, that
fucking day.
Yeah, like that's the type of shit that I was like, you could have felt every other day, but that day don't. Because that's the day that they're gonna fucking take away their means of production. So that it is true. But
also necessary for the story to take the turn that it did, you know?
Right. You had to be dramatic and all this shit, but indeed
it was an expensive date that she had there. It's $2,500.
Yeah, and they could have not fished again. So yeah, I did feel that was the only part where I was like, What about the kid? Do you guys have any ideas of the kid, like the little boyfriend?
Miles,
Miles, how's his name?
I think so.
I feel like they could have picked somebody else for that role.
He.
Oh, dude. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Like when they go to the audition, and Miles is like, "Damn, I bombed the audition. They didn't pick me." I was like, "Yeah, I choked." And I'm like, I see her, and she's like staring at him, looking around and stuff. And I'm like, "Bitch, you better not choke on purpose to fucking stay with this guy or to stay with and be with your family and all this bullshit." Like for the second, I was like, she's gonna choke on purpose to like just stay with her family, to take care of them and do whatever, the stay in the little town and be with him and all the bullshit. And luckily, the guy was there. The Rodrigo, the Eugenio de Best was there to save the day. And he's like, no, I gotta see you through to the end of this.
Isn't it crazy though how that kid, in my opinion, he never showed any extracurricular like talent that I was like, how the fuck, why is he even auditioning? It almost seems like the Spanish teacher, right, the Mexican teacher, he was just teaching him so he could get paid and then he could teach the girl for free. Pretty much. He was just like feeding him because the kids, I mean, I wouldn't say he sucked, but he was like, whatever. Like, dude, Berkeley School of Music is one of these places that's very like formal, right? So like, I'm a musician, right? And I would consider that the way that I sing is like that Mexican teacher described, where he's like, you know Bob Dylan, right? He doesn't sing good, but what he sings has a message and it sticks like glue and shit. That's like that's your voice. And then he later tells her like, oh no, never mind. You don't have, glue and cement. You have like a beautiful voice. So what I'm trying to say is like, if you go to Berkeley, right? It's not like, oh, I sing, I'm cool. No, you have to be like on some opera shit. Like this is like, I meant opera, not opera. Like opera. Like you have to like on some like high level singing where it's like it's not like, oh, I have these little songs that I do and it's like I'm cute with the guitar. No, like you come here to sing. It's almost like some musicians would look at Berkeley like, nah, that's like that elitist shit. Like, you feel me? Like,
like MIT or like Yale or something like that, but for music.
Like, for me, like I'm gonna learn how to play the upright bass like a jazz musician, which is great. But I'm saying it's very things like that where like, and this Miles kid, all he did was fucking sing that song, I want to hold you with a guitar or whatever.
and poorly. Like,
I mean, the one that killed it was her. He was just like the backup. I almost felt bad for him. Like the Spanish teacher was playing him. He was.
Maybe he had a quota to fill.
If we take note from the movie that we did, King Richard, he was the hamburger, and she was the steak. Like he had to be there for her to be there as well.
Right. Yeah. He was paying for both.
Basically.
Exactly. Like King Richard, right? Like the John Bertram's character, right? He was charging all these rich people. Like, yeah, your kid's gonna be a pro. But then he's like scouting for the real pros. Mm-hmm. He's like, man, where is all, like the guys complaining to John Bertram's little tennis camp, like, where's all the money going? Bro, King Richard be going to Disney every weekend, He
got fast pass.
It ain't cheap. Man, I'm saving your money with the fast pass, man. No. with the annual pass. It's like King Richard. I don't know if that's how he would call him. Like, King Richard, why did you spend so much money on Disney? Man, I'm saving you money with the annual passes, man. This is gonna save you money.
I've already used it 4 times this month. What do you want from me?
I love the turkey legs, man.
You paying for them? I eat them.
Anything else? Any last thoughts on CODA? I'm done with CODA. Pretty much, I think it should win the Oscars. I loved it. Made me cry, and it's like a perfect family movie. It's such a perfect movie. And let me know, Adrian, because you have kids. Don't you think this is a great movie to watch with your kids and sort of like get a few lessons in there for free? Some life lessons there.
When they're a little older, I mean, there's some scenes that I wouldn't want Graham watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the sex scenes
Yeah.
and shit.
Like the sex scene, and then the dad talking about putting the condom on.
The office, yeah. The doctor's room, the doctor office, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, dude, the helmet.
Yeah.
The soldier with the helmet. That whole scene was hilarious. Like, you didn't need to know sign language to know what the fuck that was.
You know what was so beautiful about those scenes is that because you cannot speak, it doesn't mean you don't have a personality with your weirdnesses and with your quirkiness, and you just saw him like, oh, that's how a person that has a very peculiar and interesting personality would express themselves if they're deaf. That's how they would do it. He can't speak, but he can be very, he can transmit a lot. He transmitted a lot with the way that he expressed himself. And that made me feel really good. Like, oh, fuck. Like, you know how it made me feel like, oh, I don't feel bad that he's deaf because he seems to be able to express whatever he needs to anyways.
Well, yeah, the whole family. The son, too. The son picks up chicks left and right in that movie.
Nah, not left and right. He only picks up that one girl.
In the bar. Oh, the same chick.
He was on Tinder. Yeah, it was the same chick.
Yeah, he was on Tinder. He picked up that girl.
Who, by the way...
They gave the impression that he picks up girls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he seemed like... Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
he
to your
picks
point.
him up.
He picks strong fingers.
And it was a little edgy, too, to show CODA's friend. That was a little loose, for lack of words.
Promiscuous.
That's from that scene, 40-Year-Old Virgin. She's very when they're in that reunion, the black family. He's like, my daughter here, she's very easy, for lack of better words. Like, I don't remember what. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he's playing with like the fake vagina.
You a virgin?
And then
He's a virgin?
the kid's asking for a Magnum condom.
Yeah.
You got a tiny penis.
Bro, I saw that movie 40-Year-Old Virgin recently. It holds up, and it's so funny how that's like a mainstream movie that you see it now and you're like, oh yeah, all this shit cannot go in a movie today. However, some of these Oscar movies are making me feel like we're making a comeback. Like, there's gonna be a comeback for good movies. Don't you think this CODA made you feel like, oh, this is a great movie where nobody thought about being woke or annoying or anything? It was organic. It was real without bullshit. That's how I felt it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they were going for that approach or for that feel with it being in Boston, because I feel like people from the Northeast like that are very down to earth, especially those blue-collar workers.
That's true.
Very
Boston.
I did see a black girl in the movie, in the choir, and was like, I don't know if this is stereotypical of myself, but was expecting her to be the leading voice in the choir, but then it ended up just being like a backup. So I don't know if
that's straight up institutionalized racism that you have in your head.
Right, exactly.
You would probably expect the black guy to play the bass.
Well, it was the Dominican,
he was. That's neither here nor there.
Dominican guy was playing the little drums and shit, keeping the rhythm.
I mean, you can call me racist all you want, but if there's a Dominican guy there, he's gonna play the congas. That's not even.
It wasn't the congas.
He's gonna play them well.
He's gonna play them well.
The little box. What was that?
Caja,
little box.
La caja.
La caja pañola.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then the Chinese girl playing the violin.
Playing the
Chinese
violin,
doing the opera.
Chinese or North Korean. If you want,
countries playing the finer instruments.
If you want perfect execution, North Korean. They can't fuck up.
And then when Eugenio Derbez,
they cannot. They get punished. What?
When Eugenio Derbez gives the white girl the maracas, and she's playing them wrong,
and then he takes them off.
He's like, hell no.
Yo, I loved it. You know what, bro? Didn't Eugenio Derbez, a Mexican guy, make you feel like, oh fuck, part of me has like this alter ego. I wish I was a teacher, like the cool teacher. That's like, it was perfect. Like the way he's like I remember having teachers that were like that. Teachers that like would fuck with you, like, and have fun with you. It's like, I had a teacher that used to like tell us a history class, and he's like, so in 1940s in the US we had this boat that had 5 cannons, and then Japan had this one, and in Argentina, well, they had a little boat where they threw rocks. And he would like make fun of like he was actually like, today would be cancelable, he would be fired type shit. But I like the fact that he had that edge on him, that like, you don't have to baby treat the students. You want to treat them like young adults. It kind of made me want to be a teacher. And then I remember they don't really make any money, but it did make you like, didn't it touch that little vein that you have of like, oh fuck, I should help the others and like, you know, teach the young kids. And
yeah, I do that every day with my 2 children. Nah, I feel you on that. I've thought about it, giving back, just teaching the young little minds, being at school. It'd be cool. Maybe like later on in life when I'm very well paid and can afford being a teacher.
Yeah, you could just do it for fun, not for the money. Because let's be real here. Eugenio Derbez's house, that wasn't a teacher salary. That was a house, bro. Next to the lake and everything.
One point that I had is like, did you see the choir that they were in? Like the whole production, like what type of school is this? It's like a public school, but it had like these amazing instruments with all these talented kids with the whole production. I'm like, what? Do I just live in the ghetto? Because I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, and if you looked at it, I guess the girl lived in a very Boston style house, which has like this beach house. It's weird. Like, it's like they almost look like if it was in the beach, but you know, it's cold, I guess. But I've seen that in many like Boston movies, those type of houses. Like
it almost looked like a swamp house.
Yeah, like a swamp house.
Exactly. She lived by the harbor.
The harbor.
The harbor. The harbor.
Harbor.
But she didn't live near Boston. She had to drive out to go to the interview, the audition.
Yeah, that's true. Boston was like an hour away. It was like the city.
Yeah, she probably lived in Cape Cod.
Cape Cod.
Cod. And Gloucester.
Right on the fucking edge of the water, where it smells like fish and pussy.
The water.
Yeah, it was like, it seemed like I don't know, it was like a very picturesque town. It was cool, like depicting the town, and because, you know, I've never been to a town like that. So it was nice. It was nice to see that. Yeah, man. You gotta watch Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting. That's a fucking piece of shit movie. Bro, Louis C.K. busting that movie is the best. I don't think you've seen it, John, but he's like, you've seen Good Will Hunting, right?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh no. Whatever. It's like this character is like, Matt Damon wrote it, and Matt Damon wrote the character for the character that he himself plays, and he's like this super genius guy that also gets into fights and fucks people up and also fucks bitches. It's like, and everybody's in the movies like, how is he such a genius? And he's like, yeah, I'm a genius. And it's like, it's such a funny, like, I mean, and the other guy, Matt Damon, and the other guy I hate.
And Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck, I fucking hate him. He's a good actor, but yeah, he also writes these movies, right, where he's like, they're badasses, right? They're always like this badass that fucks J-Lo and shit. All right, so he does though.
You would do the same, bro. You write a movie.
He's just mad at him because of fucking J-Lo.
I think
truth comes out.
That it isn't.
He's fucking good looking and he's fucking successful and fucks J-Lo. And
these white men are taking our Latina women. No, bro.
You need to put a stop to this.
Don't you think it's corny as fuck to write movies where you're the actor and your character is like this fucking badass that's like super cool and, you know, super dick slanging and super genius, but also super noble.
Well, in that movie in particular, yeah, I see Louis C.K.'s point. It's funny.
It's funny, right? All right, what would you guys give this movie? I'm gonna give this movie a 9.
8.
Damn. 8.5.
Okay. An 8.5, that's the average that the Broski Doodles gives it. For the people that are like in the Cannes Festival, what was the other one? The Sundance Festival. There's one in Spain as well. New York Festival. They all know that the Broski Doodle score is one of the standards that they use, when they're
Right.
So that's why we're doing this series now, so that they can use it for the Oscars nominations. That they take this information along with, not just us, other high level movie reviewers that get to.
They put our logo in the back of the movie when it comes out on DVD.
Right. We get royalties. Unfortunately, so some of these movies we don't want to be tied to, but we are monetarily, and we will take the checks. We
don't discriminate.
We don't discriminate. Money's green. That's what I see. Unless you're in China, I think they have it's red over there. And in Venezuela it has many colors. Whatever. We'll talk about that later. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. This is the longest movie review that we've done because this movie deserved it. CODA, watch it. That's it.
Share it.
Stuff it in your ears.
Like it. Comment.
Peace.